ask some questions.
If you want to introduce yourselves.
Okay. I'm Jacqueline.
And I'm Hannah. And
Hannah?
Yeah. We're both going to be seniors, right?
Yeah.
You what? Seniors in high school?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, this project, I don't know if Mrs. Cassie has said anything. We're celebrating the library's 100th anniversary, and we're trying to interview at least like 100 citizens in the community related to the town. And it's going to be archived. We're going to, do video clips and add it to our archive. So we start developing a directory because we want to capture, moments and memories of the town, and we add building a time capsule to add to our local history.
Okay.
Just so people remember, there's no right or wrong. We just really want to know that, the town has changed so much. There were businesses, people have come and gone.
Mm-hmm.
People knew one another. It has changed a lot since then. And some people thought the old days were better than now. And there's different people.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, this is really nice of you to take the time. Just reminisce. That's all we want. Because, you know what? I look in the archives now. It stopped like in the 1950s, like 40s and 50s. There's really no pictures. There's really nothing written down. There's not much. And I felt so bad. I said, this town is so rich in history and people.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want a legacy going forward that we can all share. Because having born and raised in Hasbrook Heights, come on.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more than just Jason Biggs. And there's a lot more other people. When you say Jason Biggs, oh, we know. But if we said, who else can we, older people, you'd be like, who? Mm-hmm. There are a lot of more celebrities. If I said Frank Sinatra, would you know who Frank Sinatra was? Yeah, okay. Not that bad, okay?
Yeah, no, we're not that bad.
Godfrey.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that.
See?
Tony Orlando from Orlando and Dawn.
Yeah. Gina, see, look at the
He
names.
still plays on Vegas. Tony
So,
Orlando.
well-known celebrities have been through Hasbrook Heights before Jason Biggs. Again, there could be many other celebrities after Jason Biggs, but just to let everyone know. Okay? So have fun. Have a blast.
Alright, thanks. It's going?
Yeah, it's
just want to
going,
make
I'm
sure.
pretty sure.
Okay, so
This is
Before we
being,
start.
like, recorded?
Yeah, I think it
It
started.
started, right?
I just want to make sure it's still
Okay.
going.
okay,
Okay.
have fun.
Okay.
Hey.
Do we get a copy of one of those so I can look at it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can share.
I have a hearing problem.
Sure.
So.
Okay. Can you tell me your name, age, and what position you held in town?
I'll start. Rosemarie Sees. I'm 75 years old this year, and I was borough clerk for 19 years, and I worked for the borough of Hasbrook Heights for 23 years.
Okay. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Garfield, New Jersey, right next door practically.
When did you move to Hasbrook Heights?
We moved to Hasbrook Heights in 1968 for 4 years, moved out for 1 year and came back again in 1972, I believe it was. And we've been in the same house ever since.
Okay. So what made you stay in Heights, and what made you like it here?
We started to come look at houses in Heights because I used to hang out here all the time. I had family here, and I'm a talker here. Right? The Boulevard was a place where all the teenagers and those who drove would go up and down, go around the circle, come down, go north again, come back, and that's what you did all night long, and you waved to people you knew. And I would visit my cousin, and when we decided that we wanted to buy a house, we decided to look here. You want to add to that, Ed?
Oh, I thought we were just interviewing you.
You can.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you're
thought you
still in
did.
it.
Oh, okay. You want to hear from me too?
Sure.
Same thing, all right. My name is Ed Sees. I'm younger than her. I'm 73. I grew up in Patterson. How long I've lived in the area is not quite as long as her, because I lived in Patterson and then Totowa until 1965 when we got married. I met her 2 weeks before I went in the Army.
Wow.
And she came after me and we got married later on. But anyhow.
Camera here.
Our neighborhood, neighborhood we're in now, would you like to know about?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, being on Wood Street, we have no sidewalks, which we love. It's a nice area, very clean. We have a lot of dog walkers, we have to watch out for the poop. But other than that, basically a nice, quiet neighborhood. What really attracted us, we lived in Hasbrook Heights, sold the house really quick, bought a nice house in Fair Lawn, and it rained. It was on a main street. And our son, we only had one child at the time, couldn't go out and play because it was a main street. What we looked for in Hasbrook Heights when we came, her having relatives here, we wanted a place where there were children. We came on Wood Street, we saw kids all over the place, and that was it. We liked the house, we liked the neighborhood, and we've been in that house ever since. So,
It's a friendly neighborhood. When we first moved here, there were great neighbors. Some have moved away, but we got together often. The girls, my children had plenty of friends that they played with the entire, their youth, during their youth. And education-wise, the Euclid School was wonderful. That's where they went. Two of them, one went to Corpus Christi for grammar school. They went to the junior high, and then they did go out of town for Catholic high school. That was what they wanted to do, and we supported that. But I think education-wise, it was equal, because children who were my children's age achieved as well as they did. And that's what you look for when you're looking at schools, right? But we got to know many, many people because we were very involved in many things in town, between our Corpus Christi Church and I was in Contemporary Club for 10 years.
Yeah.
And you were very involved with Little League and soccer. He was on the original board of soccer when he first got started.
Yeah, that was a challenge. That was a challenge. Yeah. We played our first game against another town. We lost 14-0.
Oh,
It was
really,
Were you secretary?
I was secretary.
Secretary on the original board.
When we signed up, I put out a piece of paper, assistant coach, my friend came, we still joke about it, he said, hi coach. I said, no, hi assistant coach. He said, I need a coach. I said, I don't know the first thing, go buy a book and learn. So it was tough, but look what it's grown into. It was really, really great. We have no experience with the education experience in the schools with our children, which we were very happy with it.
Yeah,
the discipline was there, right? And they got a very good education. How the schools have changed, well, they
did. Well, our youngest was able to go to, they moved the junior high up to the high school. My son was one of our oldest son went to Franklin.
Okay.
And then our youngest son, we have 3 children. Our daughter went to Corpus Christi for junior high, but our youngest son went to the high school. And I believe it was 6th and 7th then. Now it's 5th, 6th, and 7th, right?
I think so, yeah.
And
the middle
8th?
school, it's 6th to 8th.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
5th grade they graduated, right? Same. He graduated there, and he went to the junior high.
But other things we've been involved in, let's see, besides soccer, you said Little League.
Our boys played junior football. Phyllis
Football.
was a cheerleader.
Cheerleader.
She was captain.
I was on a board of directors. Yeah, I was on a board of directors of the library. I was also on the planning board. What else did I do? Well, the Eucharistic minister at the Corpus Christi, like you said, very involved in the church. Had to be in something else that I was on. Whatever it was, and I can't remember now. So we just got involved with, because of our children. That's what it was like. Yeah, we got involved in the marriage encounter through here.
Yeah.
We would have church services in our house with a house full of people.
Has it changed much over the years?
It has changed. The boulevard has changed. A lot of
lot,
stores are gone.
The trees?
That's what we miss. Remember, we used to go.
I tell you the truth, though, I like that they got rid of those trees only because I thought they were messy.
Yeah.
They were really messy. And there was one tree, after the municipal building burned down in 1999, we had to go where Sophia's is now. My office was actually where Sophia's kitchen is. And the religious store was also part of our office, and all the offices were together in that building. And there was a tree outside that had these pods that when you stepped on them, the smell was so disgusting. So I was happy when those trees went.
But you know what I missed about the boulevard though? Like Carol's Fashions, we
Right.
used to buy clothes there, men and women. There was a small supermarket. What was the name of it? I can't remember. There was
Well, there was an A&P when we
Yeah,
first
that's
moved
right,
here
yeah.
where Rite Aid is, but that kind of was closed after that. There
Yeah.
was a great deli on, I think, the corner of Jefferson that made the best donuts and the best
Yeah.
pies, homemade
Mhm.
pies. And Eddie's Deli, Italian deli, had
That was a
all
good one.
really good Italian delicacies.
It was a sporting goods store. Remember?
Yes.
We were going to upstate New York for a week with some friends, and I went in and bought
Set of
a whole new
golf
set of
clubs.
golf clubs. Bing bang, in and out was quick. It was fun. But you could do all your shopping on a boulevard basically.
Right, get your TV fixed at
Velasco television, yeah, that's right. The Pisa's
There was
Pharmacy.
a great
remember?
pork store that you could get the best homemade style hot dogs that when you barbecue them they blew up and they were so crunchy. And they were very nice people, and that store closed down. The religious store was closer to Corpus Christi, and my children would go buy all my Mother's Day gifts there. Because they could just walk in from walking past the store. It was cute. And there was a milk store where Holiday Travel is. There was one of those, what was the name of it? It's
Garden State?
Garden State.
Garden State
You-
Farms,
You
yeah.
go buy your gallons of milk. That's how people bought milk. They didn't go to the supermarket. I don't even know if there was supermarkets yet.
There was IGA was in
Woodbridge.
Woodbridge, which was,
Yeah.
no, but there was A&P.
Oh, ShopRite was here already.
ShopRite was there,
Yeah,
yeah.
ShopRite
There
was
was
here.
A&P's, not in this area, but there was one in Lodi, I think, but.
The shop,
kind of
the
stuff
right,
was
the
around.
old ShopRite. Did you see the ShopRite ever? Or were you too young?
I think when we were when I was really little, I don't really remember it though.
Yeah,
I remember that it was there.
yeah. It was like a big store, big one.
I was also involved in the Republican Club.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we both were involved in the Republican Club for many campaigns.
Yeah, until when you became the borough clerk.
Yeah, then I had to stop.
Out to the-
No, a borough clerk is supposed to be neutral. And I went through 4 different mayors. Your dad was my 4th mayor that I worked with, and each one was very nice. I had a good time with, they were very nice to me.
That's good.
And it was good. But as far as other things changing in town, like we said, the soccer program got huge.
Yeah.
Junior football was always big,
Yeah.
but I think it's even bigger now. They redid Depkin Field while I was still as clerk. They redid the whole turf, made it be turf and fixed it up beautifully. And
Yeah.
each year they make it prettier. Good spot for all your sports, which are very important to your town. We're also members of the swim club. Have been for about 43 years.
Is it that long already?
Yeah,
Wow.
Phyllis was little. About maybe 43 years. And it was our social life, because that's where we made lots of friends, and our children, had great summers there. And it was really good. I hope that it can continue, because it's a place we still belong.
Who are some of the greatest characters you met from here?
Greatest characters.
Or notable people?
Notable people. Well, the council people that were involved, I believe, are like Andy Link, to name
Yes,
one,
yeah,
Rose
yeah.
Heck,
Bill Ipke was mayor for a
Bill
long time.
Limkin, he was mayor for
He was
a
a
long
plumber.
time.
We had great stories about that guy.
Yeah.
He'd come in and do the work, and if he couldn't afford it,
Yeah,
he'd kind of forget Yoda to him.
Yeah, he was very.
And his wife was so nice.
Yeah. And church people that we, you know, the different priests and pastors from all the churches. I got to meet quite a few of them. They were all very, you know, good people. Another club that you were involved in that we participated in as a family was the Pioneer Club.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That was,
yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, which is also good. Yeah, he had he got involved in that, and then they would have get-togethers on Sundays with the family that we all could go watch football games, and
I used to watch the playoffs there,
get something to eat. They'd make a home-cooked dinner for $5.
Yeah, it was great.
But
well, one of the guys was a butcher at
IGA.
So we didn't get a break, but he would bring good stuff, and we would all take turns cooking or whatever. And they did some nice fundraisers over there for the
Yes,
town.
yeah. I did aerobics. Started in the Pioneer Club. Miss Edie, who owns Edie's Dance Factory, and she's a good friend of mine. We went to another town that was having aerobics, and she said, I'm going to learn it, and she brought it back here, and she ran that program for a long time. It was a good way to exercise, and you could bring your children, babies, and they have a babysitting place for them.
I think another thing with the Pioneer Club, we started a couples bowling.
Right.
Remember? And we would go on, was it Friday night, I think?
Yeah.
We would bowl. All our kids would come run around the place. And then we would leave and go, always get Chinese food from the same place. We would go to different houses.
Yeah.
The men against the women playing Trivial Pursuit. It was great. We used to fight like, oh, it was so much fun arguing. That was the best part of it. Cheating and arguing was great.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of friends though from
Yeah.
that. It was like, it was all, I think it all started, somebody, I know what it was, a friend of ours from Little League who didn't talk to me for a while because I was a player agent in Little League, and I had to make some decisions one time. And one went against him. He didn't talk to me for a year. But we became very good friends. Yeah, we did so many arguments.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff is crazy, but sometimes it's fun to argue too.
Being a small town, you really made lots of friends because you were all involved in the same area, sports-wise or church-wise or school-wise. And it really was a family town. It still is. I feel that way as well. I can see that with the younger people coming, you know, that I met through the years. It is really a close-knit town in that respect. And if somebody is needing something, the whole town bands together and tries to help. It's really nice. And I don't think you get that in a town that's bigger. It really.
I think another thing too is the police and the fire department here.
Right there.
I'll never forget her car caught on fire, was in the driveway. Called the fire department. Chris Seminez, I don't know if you know, he used to be a councilman. He was driving a fire truck, he pulls up and he's laughing like heck when he saw the car on fire. But it was all fun because I tease him all the time.
Levity during these pretty serious moment.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but it burned to the whole front melted.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
But like the police, it was nice. You know a lot of them, except what can I say?
You're on video.
Oh, okay. But if you need something, they're there, and they're quick. Like it's like it's like, I think in a small town, everybody has a stake in everybody else. Maybe I don't know you around the corner or something, but you know what? If push comes to shove, you have neighbors that will help you, right, Ron?
They were very,
There's a few times that I
notable
come.
people that we met through the fire department. Art Knobloch, I
Mhm.
believe,
Yeah.
was one. He used to take all the pictures. He was a very dedicated member. And there's, I believe, 4 chiefs that go to the fireman's dinner still. Vinnie Monahan, Ron Monteleone,
Artie Hayes? Artie Hayes, is Hayes
No,
one?
no.
Oh, I can't remember.
I can't
That's
remember.
before I was born,
Yeah,
probably.
but anyway, there's still 4 that
Yeah.
are alive and then managed to still get to come out to the fire events. The police department, we made good friends. One of the chiefs was Buddy Baker. Another one was Bruce Werner, that really were dedicated to taking care of Hasbrook Heights. And of course, Mike Culinary I've worked with closely in these past years. And when our current mayor was on the police force, he and I were involved in the anti-drug committee. And we ran concerts and held events, and it was really a nice thing to work with him on. I enjoyed that. And then as mayor, we kind of had a background, so it worked out really well.
Yes. Do you remember any great stories, or do you have any favorite memories from our town?
Mine are all negative.
Any legends?
Things like, remember that when we were involved in Marriage Encounter, and we were away or something, and the police put whipped cream and toilet paper on the car. Remember, it was going back and forth. We were teasing with each other, and we would do funny things
Funny
like
things, yeah. We
like
had
like. It did not.
one
Nothing.
time they put those lighted, got in the car somehow.
You hear what happened?
We really should put this on video.
Yeah, you know when they do construction, they put the little bar. It's got flashing lights or something. I don't know if they have it.
Yeah.
But they broke into our car and put that in. They sent taxi cabs to the house. This should be telling this stuff.
No, I don't think
I
we
guess
should.
no.
Video.
But we just would do like things that really weren't too dangerous, but they would be funny.
Fun
Like
stuff.
somebody was away, someone was watching our house, and my favorite was
Don't tell it.
what about
No,
the chicken?
no.
Oh, okay, I'll tell the chicken. But put a for sale sign in the house.
Yeah, one of them, they put a huge Italian flag over the entire house. I mean, we had fun
But
stuff.
it was in good fun though. We didn't really
Yeah.
like hurt it the way break too many laws, I guess. But it
Yeah,
was,
legends wise, I can't say I've ever heard of any legends.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know, right?
I can't remember. It was Toll, football coach. There was another football coach from town that left. I can't remember his name now. Too bad. But the football program's always been very good here.
Very good.
Very well noted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's always. I think Friday night football. Like the person who was next door to was Doc Kaiser. Every Friday night football game he was there. He didn't miss it. Rain, snow, didn't matter. He was there.
He was a very nice,
Yeah.
notable resident of Hasbrook.
But we had a lot of people like that. They
Yeah.
just,
Bob Burns was assemblyman. He lived across the street
Yeah.
from us. He was a good neighbor.
I remember when we moved in, he came over and said, hi, you know, what can I do for you if you need anything or whatever.
Yeah, he was a good neighbor.
People would do that. If you had a problem, you didn't have to go far to get help.
And I also worked at the Observer for 10 years before when I first came back to work. Mayor Heck at the time asked me to join her at that paper, and I think it was a great experience because I actually learned how to put an entire newspaper together, and was there did all facets of the newspaper, and I missed that Observer because that was really was helpful to people to know what was happening in town.
Yeah.
You know.
I remember also a lot of different things going on at Woodland Park. Every year we have picnics down there. Remember, who has one? They have Town Day down there now, which is pretty good every year. And the Pioneer Club used to have one every year.
Pioneer
Republican
Little
Club
League
had
used
one.
to have theirs down there.
Little League was down
Well,
there
you
too.
know, now they have it at the Little League field. Different organizations. Yeah, there
In
was.
fact, now we have a family picnic there every year
We have our
ourselves.
family picnic there. It's fun. It's a good spot.
It's a good town.
Mhm.
Really is. We're blessed to be here.
What made you decide to run for office?
It's really not running for office. Borough clerk is a position that the mayor and council approve your appointment. It's really not political in any way or shape, even though you're working with people who are elected to office. But the purpose of borough clerk is to really be there for the mayor and council. They call it secretary, which is kind of an old-fashioned term, but basically you're secretary to the mayor and council, as well as numerous other duties. But that's the first and foremost. And one thing about this, I don't know if this is a legend or why it's so, but the borough seal, which has been in existence since 1894 when the town was incorporated, can only be placed over the borough clerk's name because of what it stands for. So the borough clerk pretty much signs almost every document alongside the mayor. The mayor signs the documents and then the borough clerk attests to all of them, and any document such as an ordinance or a legal document has to have the town seal on it, and that's how that works. Yeah.
Don't you have to,
Interesting.
with the election too? You have to
Yeah.
certify it?
The borough clerk is in charge of any elections on the day of election. She has to make sure that there's everything is going smoothly, and if somebody needs to know if they're supposed to be, they're registered to vote, she has to check that out for them, and it's a pretty, intense day in most cases. Yeah.
What's another thing you did with this? The food pantry too. When
Yeah,
that
we
started.
started the food pantry. That's something that we didn't have before. Mayor Ron Jones wanted a food pantry. So we started it we had a room in the basement, and it has run on donations totally from the residents, which I think is remarkable because I can honestly say in those years, it's got to be at least 10 years that it's in existence, we never really ever ran out of food. And I would, whenever it did get really low, we'd put out a bulletin and people would, be dropping off lots of food for it. So it worked out really, I think it's helpful to the people. There's enough people that have to come, sadly, but at least they're able to come and get some help. A lot of towns in the area aren't as generous. It's it's really helpful for our small town. They have to be residents too.
There's another thing that was started in this town, Meals with a Mission. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
I feel like I
Okay.
have.
It's one of the residents in town had this dream about doing this. And he came to talk over with Roe at the borough clerk's office, and he was able to get Corpus Christi to let them use the in their school. There's a kitchen there, so it started there, cooking there, and now it's blossomed where we have a place in Garfield. And there's a lot of volunteers. Sometimes we go cook there. We make 500 meals on a night.
I think since its inception, they've cooked over 600,000 meals.
Oh, wow.
And they
So that's something a lot
distributed
of
to
people don't know about
to
this town.
shelters and food kitchens. So that was a really big, extension of people helping.
What was your favorite part, like helping, I guess? Like, what was your favorite part about your job?
My job, I loved every part of it. I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed working with people. I liked helping people. I liked the work I had to do. I liked the working with the council, working wonderful office people that we worked with. And it was just an all-around rewarding job.
Yeah, everybody knows Rob. If there was something about her job I didn't like, she would basically tell me to mind my own business in a nice way. I do what I do, and I am who I am. So.
Yeah, it was a good job.
Do you have any last words?
I just am very happy that we made the decision to move to Hasbrook Heights. It was a great place to raise a family. It was a great place for us to live and just be happy. And I think that it's a great family town.
Definitely, no doubt about it. We have good neighbors. We're lucky. But it's like, you know, if you need somebody, you can go knock on a door. What do you need? What do you want? You know. In fact, we have a neighbor that has a key to the house. We have a key to their house. If something happens, you lose your key, you can't get in or something. You know. Yeah. And I remember one time our burglar alarm went off, and we got a call. And
we were in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Or no, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, right?
Yeah,
Had to
break through a window.
Oh, that was so funny.
Because we forgot to leave a key.
Yeah, we leave a key, and it was so funny that the thing went off, and it was
Hours.
Hours and hours. And our neighbor called us, got a hold of us. That was before cell phones, too, I think.
Yeah.
And he was breaking in the house, and the police came and saw breaking in the house. And he said, "I have permission to break in." But then we gave him the code. He was able to shut it off, though, you know.
Yeah.
But he was right across the street. That was it was good though. But the cops were there pretty quick too, you know.
Yeah, we did have our house was robbed.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's a memorable event, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to put that in. That's negative.
But the police
Yeah,
were
okay.
wonderful.
Mhm.
Police
Yeah.
were wonderful.
Really good.
Yeah. Once, just once.
Yeah.
Thank God.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Too many times.
I think it's just the sense of community here. You know, it's you know, that famous Friday night football and whatever.
Yeah.
Everything else is to the we have every year on the boulevard too.
Our parade, yeah.
The parade.
When you're at that parade or at the tree lighting, you realize how small town special we are. You know, it's a good feeling when you're standing there and you see that all happening.
Even
Memorial
the
Day
9/11
parade,
stuff you put together.
9/11 memorials
She
were
does it
very
every year.
memorable each year. They really made you realize how tragic that was.
We have people in town that survived. I was supposed to be there. Had 3 appointments with some, and I was a specialist. I was going to general practitioner, and the day before I said, "This is off the record. Let's instead of going downtown, we'll meet at our office first." Thank God it would be.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, so you hear all those kind of stories.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
thank God stories and then very sad ones as well.
But that memorial every
But the memorial is special, I think.
she's been running that thing too.
Yeah, that was,
Memorial Day parade you're very involved in too.
yeah.
Behind the scenes.
So that's sad to see a lot of the World War II veterans not
They're
alive anymore. But there's a lot of veterans when you see all those names. If you ever went to the walkway, a lot of names in there. I think probably about 400.
My 2 brothers, myself.
Yeah, people really appreciate that, and where the fire memorial is too. That was good to do. Anything else to think of?
I mean, unless you wanted to talk about anything specific, but I mean, we're good, whatever you want.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think
can't
we're
think
good,
of
yeah.
You're just very involved.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
We
Oh yeah, I guess.
kill it. Thank you.